In the sweltering heat of August, six fresh graduates, Amara, Dapo, Halima, Choka, Timmy, and Bisi, stood side by side as their names were called for NYSC posting. The atmosphere at the orientation camp in Kaduna buzzed with nervous energy. When they heard Obagwa Kama, Enugu State, they looked at each other with puzzled expressions. A village no one had heard of, no electricity on Google Maps, no social media footprint, just a name and a location deep in the forest of southeastern Nigeria. But they were young, idealistic, and full of dreams. How bad could it be? They had no idea what awaited them. After a day-long journey over pothole-ridden roads and broken bridges, their bus screeched to a halt at the edge of Obaguakama. Chickens scattered. A blind man sitting under a tree muttered something in Igbo, "Una beli kumuo, but unagayapu," which easily translates to, "You have come to wake spirits, but you will not leave." No one paid him much attention. The villagers greeted them coldly. No welcome party, no introduction, just long stares, silent eyes. They were assigned a small bungalow near the old village shrine, abandoned, covered in moss, with strange chalk marks on the walls. The youth coppers laughed it off. They were here to serve, to teach, to uplift, not to believe in ghost stories. Strange things began to happen. Amara, the most religious of them, woke up screaming one night. Her Bible was torn to pieces and her bedsheet soaked in red palm oil. Cho had noticed that every time he walked past the shrine, the carved statue inside seemed to move just slightly, its eyes tracking him. Halima swore she heard a woman sobbing in the bush at night, repeating her name over and over, but it was Dapo who first vanished. Dapo, the most outspoken and skeptical, had gone into the forest one afternoon to help with a school feeding program. He never returned. His body was found 2 days later, folded into a wooden drum with his mouth stitched shut. The village chief declared it a forest accident, but the youth corps members knew better. They begged the NYSC coordinator to relocate them, but there was no signal in the village. The only landline at the chief's compound had suddenly stopped working. They were trapped. Elder Mama Nkechi, the oldest woman in the village, eventually whispered the truth to Halima after she saved her grandson from choking. Obaguakama was cursed. Many years ago, during the Civil War, 6 Nigerian soldiers came to the village looking for rebels. They rounded up the villagers, beat the elders, and raped 3 women. The village priest, in a fit of rage, slaughtered a goat at the shrine and placed a curse. For every 6 strangers who came here, 6 must be taken by the earth. The villagers tried to end the curse once. They burned the shrine and killed the priest, but it only got worse. One by one, the youth corps members fell. Bisi was found hung on the school's flagpole with her NYSC khaki stitched into her skin. Timmy walked into the river after hearing his mother's voice calling him. Though she was in Lagos, his body was never found. Choka was dragged into the shrine one night, screaming. They only found his hands the next morning, placed neatly on the altar. Halima, who had grown close to the villagers, tried to escape with Amara. The villagers helped them, guilt-ridden. But as they approached the edge of the village, Halima started to bleed from her eyes. She died in Amara's arms. Only Amara survived, or so it seemed. She made it to the next village on foot, barefoot, bloodied, barely breathing. She told her story to the police, the NYSC officials, and even a reporter from Channels TV. No one believed her. Mass hysteria, they said. Jungle madness. The case was closed. The village was struck off the map, but Amara never forgot. Every year on the anniversary of the deaths, she wakes up at 3 a.m. to 6 knocks on her door, slow, heavy, and chilling. And when she answers, no one is there. except for a palm oil handprint on the floor. In the next NYSC batch, when 6 new corps members were posted to an unknown village deep in Enugu, their names disappeared from the records. No one ever talks about Obaguakama, but if you ever find yourself being posted to a village you can't find on a map, run. Don't serve, don't go, because some villages don't want peace, they want blood. The forgotten six will never rest until the curse is broken or fulfilled.